When nothing seems to help, I go and look at a stone cutter hammering away at his rock, perhaps 100 times without as much as a crack showing in it. Yet, at the 101st blow, it will split in two, and I know it was not that last blow that did it, but all that had gone before. Hello my friends, welcome back to epoxymaid. How are you? I hope doing okay, and I want to thank you for showing up today. Today is Coasting Through the Week Coaster Wednesday. If you aren't familiar with this, it's a collaboration between 3 other artists and myself. That's Resin Me Up, Marvelous Artsy, and Laura's Design Studio. I'm going to be using this coaster mold today as my main mold. Of course, you see others out here, but this one right here is the star of the show because it's our foundation and it's a coaster mold, and that's what Wednesdays are about, coaster molds. I got this coaster mold right here from Julie Art Studio over on Etsy. I will link this in my description box. I used one of her molds last week as well. So we're going to use this one this week. It's a beautiful heart shaped coaster, and it's got these beautiful edges on it. Then we're going to use this beautiful hummingbird right here. I'm not going to be filling this mold all the way up. This is a freshie mold, and freshie molds are really deep. So I'm only going to pour this maybe halfway. Then I have this beautiful hibiscus mold. Now, this flower right here, this hibiscus, is beautiful when it's demolded, my friend. You must see it. It is gorgeous. And then I have this small hummer here, and I have this hummer right here. So I'm really not sure which hummer I want to use, but I'm going to perch it up on this hummer because I have some beautiful hibiscus flowers. They're one of my favorites. Not my favorite, but one of my favorite flowers is a hibiscus. I even have a double hibiscus, and it is gorgeous. It puts off these huge hibiscus buds. They are beautiful. I'm sorry, I got off on a little tangent there about hibiscus flowers. But I'm going to perch one of these up on this hibiscus right here when we get it demolded. And our big hummer is going to go up here, and then the hibiscus here, and then one of these hummers perched on that, and that's going to consist of our phone/tablet stand. So if you'd like to see how I get on with that, kick back, relax, and let's get to it. We're going to go ahead and brush in our colors in our molds here. I'm using my Saya chameleon powders, and I'm using all of these colors here in this hummer. So I'm going to get them opened up and ready to brush in. Now I'm going to take this black here out of the Let's Resin Chrome powder kit because most hummers that I see's beaks are black. So we're going to get its beak this beautiful chrome powder black. And I don't know if that'll really show up real pretty or not, because we're going to be backing it with black. We probably should have put some glitter in it or something. But maybe we'll put some glitter in the black resin that we're going to back that with. Now I finished brushing all that in, and what I'm going to do up here in the wings we'll talk about later. Let's go ahead and get these hummers brushed in right quick. And I'm using these 3 colors right here for these hummers. And I'm just going to switch out with the same colors for this one and this one. Now for the hibiscus, I'm going to be using these colors here. This is the red chrome and the green chrome Let's Resin kit. And this is one of the Saya chameleons. And this right here is a neon powder from Hobby Lobby. And they look beautiful painted on the molds. But I've always backed it with white. So I don't know what this is going to look like backed with black. So that's going to be interesting. Okay, I don't want this to be a keychain. So I'm going to take my snippers here and I'm going to peel that back. And I'm just going to reach in there and snip it out. Right like that. Then I'm going to take some of my powders and then just brush right over that. And if I ever want to use that as a keychain again, I'll just place one of my hole makers in there. And then there you have it. So no big deal. Okay, I'm going to be placing this strip right here. Each day is a gift to be opened with prayer. It's going to go like right where the phone or tablet stand would sit. So we're going to have to do our first pour with that in mind right there. So I'm going to whip up some epoxy and we'll get to pouring. Okay, I have my resin here. I'm using the Bond Crafter epoxy resin, and I mixed up 4 ounces, 2 of A and 2 of B, mixed them in my dual head Resinar's epoxy mixer for 3 minutes. You might check your resin to see how long you need to stir yours. But first we're going to go ahead and pour in this hummer right here, and I'm going to add some of these beautiful flakes right here. I have a blue bag in here. It's not what we're using. I stuffed that in there. But I'm going to take my little nifty glitter spoon here, and we're going to get some of those out of there and pour them in my cup here. I don't want a lot because I want the black resin to peek through this right here. And you won't be able to see it on the rest of the hummer because we've brushed in the chameleon powders. So we're really just going to see those colors up here in the wings. And I'm not going to spritz any alcohol in there because it will make our chameleon powders come up out of there. So let's go ahead and pour. And I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to add a few more pieces of this up here in the wings. Not much, just a few more. I think that's plenty. I just want some to be up there so the black resin can peek through them and make them look sort of fairy wingish looking. Okay, this is the resin that I got out of the bubble remover machine. And I'm going to spritz some alcohol in my mold here. And we're going to go ahead and pour this. And I just want just a layer of it to hold this sticker in right here that we're going to be placing down in. I hope it's going to fit. We may have to trim it. I'm going to spritz some alcohol on it. And did you know that in Ecuador they have 133 species of hummingbirds? Their wings are structured in a figure 8, which allows them to fly in all directions. They're the only bird that can fly in all different directions. They look like drones when they fly. Okay, we may have to... I don't know if that's going to sit where I want it, my friends. We're probably going to have to snip off a little bit of it, because I'm not sure. Let's see, if our Hummer sits there, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. I really want it to go down just a little bit more. I don't know, that may be perfect right there. Yeah, okay. That may be perfect right there. Because really half and half is what I'm looking for. So let's see here. I'm going to have to pay attention to it though, because it's trying to move up a little bit. So yeah, that's about right. So we're going to leave it right there. I'm just going to watch it and make sure it doesn't scoot, you know. Put it over here. And I'll just keep an eye on it. And this right here is finished. Okay, so we're going to whip up our resin for these. And I'm just going to use my alcohol ink by Mod Podge in black. And I just put 5 drops in there. And get that stirred up. We are finished pouring everything. And this one right here is going to have 3 pours. The next pour is going to be these little flakes that we put in the wings of our Hummer. And then the third pour will be black resin behind that. But this one, the next pour on this one will be black. And then we'll be done with these 4. And then we'll just have the one layer to go on this one. I'm going to try to get it poured while it's still sticky. You know, let it cure for about 2 to 3 hours. And because if we do it that way, then we won't have lines in between our pores that you can see. They'll be visible if we let it fully cure. But if we catch it while it's still sticky and we do our second pour on it, they will blend well with one another. And you will not be able to tell the 2 different pours from each other. All right, so I'll meet you back when it's time to do our next pour on these. See you later. Here we go. I got our resin here. And we're going to go ahead and spritz some alcohol in this mold. And I did catch it. Perfect timing. Let me show you here. See how I'm able to poke the resin? That's perfect timing. It's sticky, but it's forming and curing, so that's perfect. I'm going to pop in with a little bit of a voiceover here. I'm using my Mod Podge black alcohol ink. And I have my epoxy resin right here mixed up. And it's the Bond Crafter. So I'm just going to shake that up a little bit. And then put about 3 or 4 drops in my cup. Because it's not much resin in the cup. So we don't need a lot. And I'm just going to stir that up. And I just stir it rather slowly. You don't want to mix a lot of bubbles into your resin. Then I'm going to reach for my Let's Resin Chameleon Flakes, not powder. This is the flakes. And they have intense color shift. So I'm going to choose one of these colors. I'm trying to see which one I think will match the best with those flakes that we used in the heart in our second pour. So I've chosen this color right here. And it's the, I believe it's the Galaxy in that set. I'm sorry, it's fuchsia, not Galaxy. I had to run and check right quick. Now I'm fumbling around trying to find one of those little spoons so I can dip some out into my cup. There we go. I found one. I love these little spoons. I bought them in some really big packs off of Amazon. If anyone's interested, I'll drop the link in my description box for you. And I just dropped in just a little half of a spoonful in there. I think that's going to be really pretty. So I'm just going to stir it up in my resin a little bit, and then we will get to pouring it. I'm going to put this up right quick. Give that resin a little bit of time to degas. And I'm just going to clean my spoon real quick. This is how I clean them up. I like to clean as I go. So I just spritz a little bit of that 99% alcohol on my napkin there. And then I just clean it off and put it right back. And it's ready to grab and use next time. Now I'm going to spritz some of that alcohol down into my heart. And then we're going to go ahead and pour. I want to stir it right quick just in case those flakes have settled a little bit down on the bottom. And this pour right here needs to be our last pour in our heart. And it's not quite filled up. And I knew that it wouldn't be. Excuse me. I want to go ahead and add some clear resin to the back of this to kind of give it a little bit of a see-through, but not much. So now I'm bringing in that clear epoxy resin, and I'm going to go ahead and top this mold off with it. Okay, now the mold is filled. So I'm just going to blend it in just a little bit. Not all the way, just a little. So now I'm seeing a little bit of that clear peek through at the top and down here at the bottom. And it's not much of a transparent look, just a little. And some of those flakes, I can see two of them poking up on the side there where they cured. So I'm just going to poke them down in the resin so they're not sticking out. And then I'm going to try to bring you down a little closer so you can see the flakes and how they look in the resin. Isn't that beautiful? Can you see where the transparent look is at? I'm trying to show you right up here, right through here. I don't know if you really can see it. Right through here, and then right down here is where our kind of a transparent look is at. And it's beautiful. Now I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to run it through there to pop any of those surface bubbles right quick before we spritz some alcohol and get on out of here, and then I will meet you back for demold. Hello friends, I had to do another voiceover right here on this part. Everyone else was sleeping in the house and it was like 3 a.m. So here I am. We're going to demold this little Hummer right here. And I don't end up using this one, but it's still cute. It's still a little bit soft, but here it is. And it would be very cute with a little rhinestone on its eye. Now this Hummer right here we did end up using, and it turned out so beautiful. I absolutely love this mold. Isn't that guy cute? I just love it. I think I'm going to put a little tiny rhinestone on its eye to kind of bring its eye out. But check out how I brushed the chameleon powders into this mold. I think it turned out so lovely. Right on the edges is where you see those purple, blue looking chameleon powder. And then in the center is where you see the blue and teal looking one. And when you turn it to the side, you know, that's the best part about the chameleon colors. They give off so many different colors. Now, this one right here is one of my favorite molds for a hibiscus, but I don't like how this turned out because I usually back it with white using the powder I used. So we're going to redo it. So I'm going to put you on a time lapse while I repaint that in and redo it. I ended up redoing this. I didn't like it at all. Remember I told you I didn't know how this right here would look with black behind it. I do know what it looks like with white behind it, and it's beautiful. But I didn't know about black because I've never used black behind it before. So, yeah, I don't really like it. I don't know. It's pretty. It's not that it's ugly. It definitely made a unique looking hibiscus. But for the piece we're creating today, it's just not going to go well with it. So I hope these colors that we redone it with looks better. So let's get it out and see. Oh, yes. Yes. I like that a lot better. A lot better. Isn't that thing gorgeous? It looks just like a hibiscus. I love this mold. I need to trim it up a little bit. I over poured on it certain spots, but we'll get it all trimmed up. Okay, now for our bigger pieces. I'm so excited to see what they look like. Let's do the tray first. And then we can place everything on top of it as we demold the bigger Hummer. I hope it turned out pretty. Oh, let's cross our fingers. And let's check this, how this casting turned out in this new mold right here from Julie Art Studio on Etsy. Yes, that mold is so pretty. I love it. Okay, let's check the edges out. You see what I meant? How pretty the edges are on that tray? Isn't that beautiful? Here we go. Y'all ready? Oh, that's pretty. It turned out so pretty. Look at that. It looks like dichroic film, and I didn't even use any. Isn't that beautiful? Each day is a gift to be opened with prayer. I love it. Okay, let's place it on there. Now let's see how our Hummer turned out. And I tried to match the Hummer's wings with the tray a little bit. So let's see how that turned out. Because now is the time to make any changes if we don't like anything. Okay, you ready? Oh, it's cute. It's cute. I like it. I like it. I like it. Isn't that pretty? Let's trim that up. So beautiful. What do you think? Now the hummer will go here. And then the hibiscus will go here. And then the hummer will go somewhere like that. I wonder if we can get two on there. What do you think? Or should we just do one hummer? Okay, I'm thinking about, push that up a little bit like that and put that hummer right there. But I don't think I'm liking that hummer like that. What do y'all think? Do you think I should lift it up a little bit like that? I don't know. What do you think? Oh, that's going to be challenging. What if we poured just the hibiscus flower and not the leaves on the side? See? What if, see, because it's pretty thick, the flower. I think we could get away with pouring just the flower and not the leaves. See? It's going to leave it jagged. So that's not going to work. Unless we put some resin on it. But I'm thinking about putting it right there. But we're going to have enough space for the, let's see if I can scoot that up a little bit more. And that's going to have to sit straight. What do you think about that? I really don't like the leaves on that. I would rather just get the hibiscus flower. So let's try to pour it and see what we get. So I've been working on my mold making, and this mold is for you, Barb, if you would like to purchase it in my shop. I will put it in there for you. Barb wanted one of the crosses. So I came up with this way to try and make the mold so that it would be nice and all pretty on the top of the mold. So let's see how it turned out. I took my transfer tape and I put it on the bottom, and I took my hot glue gun and I went around this cookie cutter to make sure none of the silicone seeped out. So, and I put it in this box right here, which the cookie cutters came in as my mold housing. So let's see how it turned out. Ooh, it's looking good so far. All right, now I'm going to have to get it out of here and clean it up. Let's see how well I do with that. I took my Cricut blade here, which I just changed the blade on it, so it whipped through there like butter. So I think I done a really good job on that part. Now let's get it out, because I have one more place to cut in here where it hangs at up top here. Let's go ahead and push the mold out so I can get in there a little bit better. Look at that. Isn't that cute? It worked out perfect. It's beautiful on the top. This looks like a professional mold, my friends. I'm so excited about this. I'm so happy. Now I won't feel bad about selling my molds because they look professional. Okay. We should be able to get it out now. And there it is. Perfect. So I have figured this mold making stuff out. I do believe. All right, now I have several more of these to make and a few more other molds. So, Barb, if you will get with me through email, I will get it in my shop for you to purchase. I went ahead and cast it in that mold to make sure that it gives us a beautiful piece. So let's demold it and see. It's still a little soft, but that's okay. All right. There it is. I think that turned out beautiful. And then there's a little bit that you may have to clip off, you know, on the back here, which is no big deal. Just snip it. Right like that. And then that's it. It's so beautiful. So I'll clean that up and it'll be ready to ship. I went ahead and domed the bottom. And now we're going to put these little cabinet tabs on the bottom to protect our dome. And to also protect the piece. So when the customer buys it and puts it down on a table or something, it will be perfect. Now, I had to prop this up because we didn't want to get those leaves in it. But I don't know if it's going to work out. If it don't, we're going to have to use this one. Which it doesn't look that shabby. It really don't. But I'd rather have a different color if I can get it. That's beautiful. Okay, so let's see if we can get it. If we can get that off. And then we could turn it around this way and resin this part because we're going to be doming the top anyway. Throw epoxy on that to take away the roughness from it, from chipping it off pieces. Okay, I think I might leave that little leaf on there. What do you think? Let's see if it'll work. Yeah, I think that's going to be really pretty. Okay, and then we're going to put this right here. And I domed the back of our Hummer. So, oh, that's going to be beautiful. I think that's perfect. Let me take you down and see what you think. Yeah, I think I like that. I really do. Let me know what you think. And just like before, I'm not going to dome it and lock anything in because I want to hear your thoughts and your opinions. So let me know if I should change anything or if you like it just like this. And don't forget to go check the playlist and see how everyone else is coasting through the week. And it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.